Remington's desk is covered in drawings and maps and notes. It's all about Boggy. He was obsessed. An ink bottle spilled onto his work. I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose. Yeesh, it's a bit of a mess. Perhaps there's something underneath those drawings. Vincent Vanderpeer's business card. There's a couple of numbers scribbled on the back. It's a note addressed to Richard Remington. The handwriting is immaculate. Richard, our man of the world. A little help is in order. We're worried that the efforts regarding our elusive little friend might be in vain. Send word when you can. The letter is signed FF. And attached is a blurry little picture. It's some kind of metallic insect. The whole thing is a mystery. I have no idea. It's a letter Remington was writing before something caused him to spill his ink bottle. My dear fellow, I received your note 2 weeks ago, but have only recently found the time to do the appropriate research on the matter. I feel like my time in this awful swamp might finally come to a close, all due to the simple realization, the rest is obscured. What a tease. There's a map of the swamp lying on the desk. It's been annotated in a few places. This is the creepiest office. These animals, I don't recognize. No way. No way. Is this a werewolf? I don't recognize. Something happened here. There are signs of a What can you tell me about these designs for a Boggy costume?
Nothing whatsoever.
You're sure you didn't see anything like this while you were filming yesterday? Wait, hold on a minute. What if
Don't you dare ask.
This costume isn't your doing, is it? Made for your movie, I mean?
My friend, there will be no costumed idiots within the viewfinder of my camera. I can assure you that.
What about your Boggy movie? Isn't that gonna be, like, a guy in a costume, or a puppet, or one of those weird robot things?
Technology has been kind to people like me. We no longer have any need for such tomfoolery. I can create a perfectly believable swamp creature within the confines of a computer. Much cheaper, too.
I suppose you've met with our murder victim, Richard Remington.
Yes, I've been in and out of this place for a while now. Naturally, I've crossed paths with Remington a number of times. Good value, that one. A real raconteur, you know.
You liked him? So far, I'm getting the impression he wasn't the most popular guy around here.
Well, that much is clear, isn't it? The man obviously slipped up somewhere, made an enemy or two, and bam, that's that. You just can't be too careful, can you?
Yeah, I think he did have an enemy or two. Or three. But you liked him.
I respected him. Good head on his shoulders. Good business sense, that man. He understood how to make things work for him.
I found these designs for a costume. A Boggy costume.
The legendary swamp creature.
Yeah, that's the one.
But these are just a child's drawings, are they not?
You think?
Perhaps. It's difficult to tell.
You saw Remington last night, but had you met him before? Did you know him?
I've never really spoken with him, but we've come into contact a few times. Vincent likes to handle that kind of work, and I like to let him.
What do you think of this place? The tourist attraction, I mean.
I can't say I like the idea of a natural area like this becoming commercialized.
I know! I just can't understand why anyone would even try.
I think Mr. Remington had his reasons. He looked like a man with a couple of secrets.
Like what?
I have no idea. If I knew, they wouldn't be secrets. That's the food I saw Mr. Remington eating at the cafe last night.
Before he got ill and rushed back to his office?
That's right.
This is going down in my notebook. It might be important. I have a theory that the murderer was wearing a costume, a homemade outfit designed to look like the swamp creature.
I've never seen anything so ridiculous. You'd never see me in that.
I know it's not exactly the latest fashion, but...
No, you'd never see me in that. It would cover me up entirely.
That's the point of a disguise?
Look, detective. When you have legs like mine, you don't want to be wearing disguises.
Is that why you always wear those black leggings?
You've only just met me and you're making assumptions about what I always wear.
And making assumptions is the fun part of being a detective.
Well, you're right. I always wear these.
So what can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
I didn't have one. I think I spoke to him twice, ever. He usually seemed really busy, but more like preoccupied.
Preoccupied? Like he was thinking about something else? Something that wasn't this tourist attraction?
Who can say? What do old men think about?
What? Are you implying that I know the answer to that?
These hats look pretty stupid. Luckily, kids seem to like stupid stuff.
You sell a lot of them?
Yeah, they're pretty popular. That is not something from my gift shop. I've never seen it before.
You said you knew Remington?
He and I knew each other for a long time. I came to work at his tourist attraction in the early days, when he needed help.
Well, what kept you here?
I know most people wouldn't want to work in a place like this. I actually like it here, so I was happy to oblige.
You might like it, but I still don't see why anyone would build a tourist attraction here.
Mr. Remington has his reasons. He probably had several. I don't presume to know what they all were. Even though we were friends, he had some secrets, some hobbies, that I was happy to let him keep secret.
Secrets? Hobbies? A secret hobby?
He was a man with a dream, I can tell you that much. That's Mr. Remington's old hunting rifle. He usually keeps it around. For whatever reason, he was very fond of that thing. Looks like it was fired recently. One of Mr. Remington's secrets. I never wanted to know the details, but these men travel the world, seeking mysterious animals to hunt. They consider myths and legends to be the ultimate prey. It's Mr. Remington's fireplace poker. This slime on the handle. It's familiar for some reason.
The tables and chairs are made out of parts of a ship, I think. Never really learned much about ships. A shipwreck? In a swamp? Does that make any sense? And why is there a cafe growing out of the side? Grass, trees, nothing unusual. Someone please tell me why there's a house here. Well, the lights are on. Maybe somebody's home. I wouldn't be using this old rope bridge if I had a choice. I've seen the movies, I know what happens. It feels like I've stepped into nighttime. What happened to the sun? Someone please tell me, well... The latch is broken on this door. Seems I can fix it with those 3 cogs if I just put them in the right place. Once they're on the right pins, I can move the handle at the bottom to try and open the door. Perfect. I am amazing. There's a whole load of needles and wool on that shelf. Or should I say yarn? I just don't know anymore. A little blanket on a little bed in a little house. It makes very little sense. There's a book on the table. I think it's a book about flowers. How fascinating. I must take some time to read it. There's a book. This is like an oven? Or is it just a boiler? It's so old-fashioned it hurts my brain. The owner of this house seems to enjoy reading, though I'm not sure what else there is to do up here, actually. I'm indoors. What a treat. The tree comes straight through the middle of the house. It even has little drawers carved into it. Okay, even I'll admit, that's pretty cool.
You just walked straight into my house, did you?
Not exactly. I had to climb up here first.
Normally, I have methods for dealing with unwanted attention, but I can make exceptions for harmless idiots.
Do you get any attention up here?
Most of the time, people like to leave me alone. But I don't think you're going to, are you?
No. I could make an excuse and say it's my job to ask you about last night, but to be honest, I climbed all the way up here and I just like being indoors.
Well, if you insist on staying, I'll tell you. I'm Lady Weybridge, and I think you might be climbing up the wrong trees.
I'm Detective Grimoire, and I think I might agree with you. What do you do here? Did you work for Richard Remington?
I was living here before that man was even born. And I have absolutely nothing to do with him, or his little tourist attraction.
You're exaggerating. How long have you been here? Just in this treehouse? What do you do up here?
I've been here longer than anyone. Even longer than, well, anyone.
I like numbers.
60 years, something like that.
What have you been doing for that time? If you don't mind me asking.
I have many reasons to be here, but I won't bore you with all the details of my life.
I'm sure there's one detail worth writing down.
I like to study the plants and flowers in this area. I've learned many things from them.
What about this little chemistry set you've got on your table?
I wouldn't call it a chemistry set, but if you bring me an object that has liquid on it or inside it, I'll tell you what that liquid consists of.
Wow, how do you do that?
Chemistry. Your job is to ask me about what happened last night.
Do you even know what happened last night?
I know more than you might imagine.
Oh, that sounds useful. Can you tell me? What were you doing?
I was here, in my house by myself.
What else?
That's it.
Thanks. Just give me a minute to write all this down. I found these designs for a boggy costume. Do you know anything about them?
You're asking me because you can tell I'm experienced with needlecraft and sew my own clothes?
No, but that's a good reason. Let's go with that.
Well, these designs look like they should have stayed where they were.
In the trash?
On paper.
Oh, how come?
Whoever drew them didn't really know what they were doing.
You would have done it differently?
Of course. I am a seamstress. There was a time when I considered sewing my craft, my livelihood.
Really?
When Richard Remington arrived in the swamp years ago, I offered him some of my handmade fabric as a peace offering. I don't think he cared much for it. Most likely he threw it away. A pointless gift from some strange woman.
You've been here so long, you must have crossed paths with Remington a few times. What did you think of him?
That man was a threat to the swamp. We'll be better off without him. Hopefully the curtain will fall on his little tourist attraction as well.
Better off? With a killer on the loose now?
There have been murderers loose in the swamp before.
What are you talking about?
In my time here, I've seen the swamp invaded by men. By hunters. Several times. They're relentless.
What were they hunting? Wait, what about Boggy? Is that why no one has seen him in 60 years?
They always fell short of their ultimate goal. That just meant they came back again and again, doing more harm each time.
But this area is protected by law, right?
It is now. But some men have no respect for laws, of any kind. They tried to get me to leave my home here. I stood my ground.
Obviously. But this whole area is a tourist attraction now. I doubt Remington would have allowed anyone to march into Boggy's Bog with a gun and start hunting down his main attraction.
I recognize some of those men, unfortunately. They've hunted in the swamp before.
Before it became a protected area?
Before that, yes, and one of them after that.
Let's see. First thing we do is put the sample of liquid into the cauldron, then tap the faucet. And now, we just have to match the color of that liquid with these ingredients. Got it! Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down in my notes. Let's see. Then and now... Got it! Now I know what that... I'll write it down in my notes. That looks pretty similar to last time. Let's see. Then tap... And now... Got it! Now I know... I'll write it down... Is that the same as last time? This was the exact same liquid. Let's see. Then... And now... Got it! Now I know... I'll write it down... What's going on here? That was definitely the same as the other tests. There's something about that green slime. The fireplace poker found at the crime scene and the black leggings are covered in the same swamp slime. Sally's leggings. They link her with the crime scene. I'll have to ask her about it.
You should ask someone else.
Hey,
The black leggings you found in your bag this morning, they're covered in the same slime that was on the murder weapon.
everything in this swamp is covered in slime. What's your angle, Grimoire?
Your black leggings were part of the murderer's costume.
Costume? Is that why someone took them out of my bag last night?
Well, you know, I don't have proof someone else took them.
If I had been wearing them when I committed a crime, do you think I would hand them over to a detective the second he shows up? Besides, look at them. What do you notice?
They're loose and stretched.
That's right, someone else. Someone larger than me has worn these. They're stretched out, especially at the waist. It's pretty obvious.
So, let's see. Somebody stole them to use in their boggy costume, and then put them back in your bag when they were done?
If you say so. It's not my job to know all the details. It's my job to sell souvenirs. Do you want a souvenir?
Oh, my, yes, but only if you choose one for me.
You look like you could use something to wind up. You can take this one.
What's this? It looks like the stuff in the water has been moved around recently. Maybe if I reposition them, I'll find a clue. I recognize that footprint. It's the same as the one found at the crime scene. The water's clear here. I can see my reflection in it. Not bad. This staircase is a tree. And this tree is a staircase. And this place is so weird. The water's clear here. I can see my not bad.
Aha! The great detective returns. Did you run out of ideas? Need a little push in the right direction?
I'm getting a new idea. It involves ignoring you.
Like it or not, I'm here to help you.
I get it. You give me a map, then you magically disappear and hide behind a tree for an hour. You want me to be impressed?
Did you talk to all the suspects yet?
I'm working on it. You can't rush these things, you know?
Have you noticed anything unusual?
I notice that this is going to take longer than I originally planned, and I'm getting the feeling that I wasn't wrong about this tourist attraction.
What do you mean?
I had a hard time believing there could be a place like this here in a dark corner of a swamp. It didn't make sense, and it still doesn't.
Some things don't make sense straight away. You need to look a little closer.
At what? The mud? The water? The trees?
Nope. They've been here for years, and they're not to blame. They belong here.
She's gone again. Hiding in a bush, no doubt. I wonder if she'll ever tell me something I can actually understand. The rock path leading back towards the museum. I don't think it's a window, but this hatch is shut at the moment. I can't see inside. This side of the museum is surrounded by blue and red flowers. That museum is quite a nice building, which makes it look even more out of place in a swamp. Is it being held up in wooden supports? It's bizarre. There's less light back there. Those trees are getting thicker and thicker. The door's jammed unless I can get these brass handles out of the way. Seems like I can rotate them around, just until the gap in the middle is clear. That top hat guy would have so struggled with this one. Let's see here. This journal belonged to the explorer who first discovered Boggy in this swamp 60 years ago. I'd better take a look at this. This journal, it's full of drawings and notes all about Boggy. It seems to be the centerpiece of the entire museum. This is a really cramped museum. Just one room, not worth the admission price. Things in jars. I don't like things in jars, unless the thing is marmalade. These are skulls? Oh, they're just models. Creepy models. Books about Boggy and other mysterious creatures. I'll read them some other time. There's a little door in the wall here. I think it leads outside. It's locked, though. It's a poster from the old Boggy cartoon show. Copyright MCM XXXIV. That'll be 1930, 1934? Swamp Studios, providing the best in swamp-based animated entertainment. It's a poster from the old Boggy cartoon show. Boggy playing the piano. He's having a grand old time. It says another story from Boggy's Bog, but actually, I think this is from the very first episode. Apparently the museum was founded by the explorer many years ago, in a different location. It's only recently been moved here to be part of the tourist attraction. That might explain why it looks so out of place. Apparently, this is the exact hat worn by the explorer 60 years ago. It seems everyone is destined to lose a hat or two in this damn swamp. Some educational facts about swamps. Did you know swamps are gross? Yes? Yes, I did. This is a really... Models of Boggy's claws. Hold on. What's this? Something doesn't seem right here. I think I should try arranging these models into pairs. Something seems out of place. I don't think these gloves are part of the exhibit. It looks like someone tried to hide them here.
So,
let me guess, you don't work here, do you? I wonder if that makes you the first tourist I've seen today.
you're incorrect, detective. I am no mere tourist.
How did you know I was a detective? Was it my stylish trench coat? My sensitive, inquisitive manner?
It was the clueless expression on your face.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's the one.
Right. That's it. You've done it now. What's your name?
I go by Folder. Agent Folder. What are you doing?
I'm writing bad things about you in my notebook. So, if you're not a tourist, and you don't work here...
I am a scholar, an academic. I'm here to research the past and uncover the future.
So, you're visiting the museum. For fun.
Fun! Oh, there's nothing so simple as fun to be had here. I come to this museum night and day to study its secrets.
Ah, what kind of secrets? It's just a museum about Boggy, right? The swamp creature.
He's one of the most intriguing modern examples of cryptozoology. A fascinating combination of scientific fact and wild speculation.
I'm with you on the speculation front. Although, come to think of it, people have been hinting that I should find out about the history of this creature.
A wise suggestion. And you've come to the right person. My knowledge far exceeds anyone else you might have met so far.
So, you'll help me?
I suppose I could divulge some of my findings with you, if you're in the mood for a little light reading. Let me find it for you. Oh yeah, this'll do. Something for beginners at least.
So, Mr. Folder.
Agent Folder.
Yeah, were you here yesterday? What were you doing last night?
I was here, in the museum, going through my files one final time before disappearing into the night.
Don't museums usually close in the evenings?
They do. I've never been one to worry about other people's schedules. I come and go as I please. There's a key to every lock, detective.
Oh, so you have the key to the museum?
Of course I don't. Why would you think that?
Well,
Once again, that clueless expression. I use a lockpick and get in through the small side door. I have a right to be here, you see. Remington has no business locking me out, so I don't let him.
You just admitted to breaking the law. If everyone did that, my job would be a lot easier.
It's not my best lockpick. This new one's cheap. I used to own one, a superior model. Unfortunately, I misplaced it in one of the darker corners of the swamp, so I don't...
I'm writing down your confession about sneaking around here at night.
Then what are you gonna do? Report me to Remington? Good luck, my friend.
I need to pick my questions carefully. The lockpick I found near Remington's body might belong to Agent Folder. As far as I know, Agent Folder is experienced with lockpicks. I wonder if he's hiding something. I found these designs for a Boggy costume.
Oh, some ridiculous new merchandise for tourists to waste their money on.
No, I believe the murderer was dressed like this last night when they attacked Remington.
If they were trying to scare him out of the swamp, they should have spent more time making an accurate design.
What do you mean?
Well, this design is some bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character. It simply hasn't been researched properly.
What's wrong with it?
Well, those flippers? Pure guesswork. Nothing but foolish imagination. Nobody knows what Boggy's feet look like. No footprint has ever been recorded.
So tell me, Special Agent Folder, how would you do a better job researching it if nothing has ever been recorded?
Oh, well, that's, it's all a matter of taking the time to... It's just that... But there's no way anyone would believe... Nothing but foolishness.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
We didn't really have one, and now we definitely don't have one. But look, all I can say is that he was a coward who enjoyed watering down history for his own benefit.
What does that mean?
It means there are some chapters of this swamp's history that he never wanted anyone to know about.
Did he like you sniffing around this museum all the time?
I don't think he knew, to be honest. And even if he did, there's nothing he could have done about it. He has no right to this building. He knows that. We both know that.
Why not? It was part of his tourist attraction, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. Oh, yes, I know him. He occasionally asks me about the history and biology of the swamp creature. I explained to him what the real Boggy looks like and how they changed his appearance for the cartoon character.
Why did he ask about that?
Because some people are naturally curious. You should give it a try sometime. This is just a piece of junk they sell to tourists. It has no resemblance to the real creature. The real swamp creature had claws, 3 on each hand to be precise. Why does the costume just have these pathetic fins instead? Guesswork. Nobody can know what Boggy's feet look like. It's his greatest secret. You're wasting your precious time, detective. So, you found it. I wonder who else knows about it. Something you found on the floor? Come back when I'm not so busy, all right?
I have a bone to pick with you.
Are you setting yourself up for a joke? Something about a lockpick?
Maybe. Who knows? Stop distracting me. I'm trying to interrogate you.
My apologies, go ahead.
So, what are we showing Folder now? Where did I find this again? I found a lockpick at the scene of the crime.
Oh, apparently you did. Why does this concern me?
You already admitted to owning one of these, and how you're ever so happy to come and go as you please with it, am I right? Be honest.
Luckily for me, Detective, I was honest with you. I believe I have already explained that second lockpick before you even found it.
You lost your lockpick in the swamp and had to buy a new one.
That's right. I appreciate you finding it for me. However, I won't ask for it back. Apparently, it has since become some diabolical instrument in the art of murder.
Yeah, it's an important piece of evidence. Let's see. And now we... Got it! Now I'll write it down in the swamp slime. It's all the same. It's the exact same liquid again. This is a 60-year-old journal. It was on display in a museum.
I know what it is.
I thought you might. I'm supposed to look to the past, right? Lady Weybridge was living in the swamp when the swamp creature was discovered by the explorers 60 years ago. Lady Weybridge. She was living here when Boggy was first discovered by the explorer. I've been looking into the history of this place.
Oh, really? Did you find anything?
Yeah. You.
You must be confused. You found me today when you barged into my house. Remember?
You were already living in the swamp when the explorer came here 60 years ago.
The explorer? That man they talk about in the museum?
The one who originally discovered Boggy. You know who I'm talking about. His sketches and notes are the only real evidence we have for this creature.
You already have his journal. You learned to read, I assume. What else do you need?
There's a page missing from the journal. I think you know where it is.
Why on earth would I know something like that?
Because you were the only person here when the explorer visited the swamp. I have a suspicion that the swamp creature wasn't the only thing he discovered.
You're suggesting he gave me a page from the back of his journal. Or what, that I stole it?
I really have no idea. If I could see it, I might be able to make up my mind.
It doesn't belong in a museum. It belongs here, with me. You understand?
What if I promise I'll return it after I finish clearing up this mess?
Then I'll show it to you.
Is this you? He drew you into his journal? It's beautiful.
60 years ago, yes. He left the page with me. We agreed the rest of the world would manage without it.
I think there's something on the back. What's this? Footprints. Looks like this path leads towards the northwest corner of Boggy's Bog. I can't wait. What can you tell me about these designs for a costume? A Boggy costume.
It's Boggy! I must admit, I've been a fan of his before I ever came to the swamp.
A fan? So you're interested in cryptozoology?
Oh, no, I meant, well, Boggy has been in all kinds of cartoons and comic strips. He's one of the greatest characters of the last 100 years. I've got some comics in my tent. You really should see.
But he was only discovered 60 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Well, I rounded up.
But what about his costume? Have you seen anyone wearing it?
I can honestly say I've never seen anyone wearing anything like that. And I'm a very observant person.
So what did Mr. Remington think of you? I mean, protesting in the middle of a swamp every day.
It wasn't his swamp. If he ever truly thought it was, then he was even more of a fool than he seemed.
But he didn't like you hanging around, right?
That man was exceptionally skilled at ignoring me. Ignoring anything he didn't like.
So, what, he just left you alone?
He expected me to get bored and go home. He figured I'd get sick of this place and he'd have it back to himself.
But he didn't want it to himself, did he? He wanted lots of people to come visit all the time, surely.
I'm sure it says that in the brochure. Yes. He seems like a good person. He even sympathizes with my cause.
He agrees with your protest? But he works here, right? And he was friends with Remington.
I think that was the only reason he worked here. Maybe he'll see the light now and leave the swamp behind him. Maybe everyone will. Ah, yes, Agent Folder. A good man.
You know him?
We get on rather well. And we shared a number of views on the way things were run around here. Why are you carrying that around with you?
I have a suspicion it may have been the murder weapon.
Really? I thought Remington was attacked by something with claws, wasn't he?
What?
You're not a bad detective.
Well, I found the photo in Remington's office. It was ripped up, though. I think he was some kind
He
of...
was a lot of things. Don't lose that picture. And show it to Mr. Harper before you leave. This is the journal, correct? The one that man left here 60 years ago?
You seem a little unsure of the details. Shouldn't you have read up on all this stuff?
Forgive me. It's hard for me to get the image of Boggy as the lovable cartoon character out of my mind. He's just so iconic. Did you know, in 1973, he...
But you're protesting to protect the real swamp creature. The cartoon character is just some commercial byproduct, right?
Yes, of course.
I think it's time I went to talk to Officer James.